everybody, it's Melanie and I'm with
Michael.
And today we are sitting still, we are not going anywhere. We might look a little disheveled. Please excuse, we've been running errands all morning in the hot humidity of North Carolina, so sorry about that. Also, sorry we didn't get a video out this week. I say we, you're in most of my videos, but sorry I didn't get a video out this weekend. We went to Folkmoot yesterday, but we got there so late. I had to work yesterday morning, so we didn't even get there until after lunch. And so we just decided to enjoy the rest of the day and not worry about taking a camera. Plus it was really hot outside and I didn't want the camera to overheat. So I'm sorry we did not get any footage of Folkmoot this year. But Leaf is coming up next weekend and I do plan on filming, but my parents are going to be here, so we'll see what we get filmed and what we don't. Today's video, we have been tagged by CrossRoad'sExplorers, Troy and Marnie, hello, to do a travel tag. So we have our questions down here on the computer, so if we're looking down, it's just so that we remember our answers. So you ready to start this?
Yeah.
So question number 1 is, what is your vacation plan for 2018? And well, we already did that, so it was just a staycation. He actually took a few days off, and our friend Charlie came down from Boston, and we just kind of spent, was it almost a week? Almost a week with Charlie. So, thanks for visiting, Charlie. You saw some of the videos he was in already. You read number 2.
Oh, if you could travel with 3 YouTubers, who and why?
You can give your answer first.
I don't really know a lot of YouTubers, so who I actually know in person. So I could put together a dream team of people to travel with who might not be that compatible. It'd be a road trip. It'd have to be. So I'd have James Pomfrey from Donut Media, Nostalgia Critic, and Daniel O'Brien, whose stuff on Cracked I loved, and since the great clearing out of Cracked staff, I don't know where he's landed since, but he's probably still out on YouTube somewhere, so I'm going to call him a YouTuber.
And for me, I think in reality, I know that we get along with Marnie and Troy from CrossRoad'sExplorers, so I would say we could definitely do a road trip with them. If I was putting together my dream team, of people that I don't personally know, I would have to say Haley, Reese, and Louie Lane, but they would have to be like a package because they are best friends and I think it would be so much fun. I have so much in common with them and all the ghost stories and the crazy things that happen, and I would just love to talk with them about all of that stuff. Graveyard Girl, because she was my inspiration for starting this channel, and I know it will probably never happen because she's in Australia, but I would like to go on a road trip to Japan with Pretty Pastel, please, because we have so much in common in the fact that we both love Japan and we both love traveling there and shopping there, and I just think it would be so much fun to go on a shopping trip with her in Japan. You probably wouldn't like that though. He would love going to Japan, he wouldn't like the shopping part. I
wasn't even on that list.
You're given. That don't have to count. You. Number 3, best travel hack. I have 2. Number 1, pack an extra bag in your luggage, like a backpack or a duffel bag, and that is because if you're going on a trip and you have, especially if you have a lot of family and everybody's like, buy me a souvenir, you're gonna need room for those. So pack an extra bag with you. And also, in your toiletries bag, when you have like soap, shampoo, all those little bottles, cut a little plastic square out of a bag that you would get from like the grocery store, put it over the top of the lid or over the top of the bottle, and then screw the lid down. That way, if your lids pop open, you don't have shampoo and soap all over your clothes. That plastic will keep the liquid inside of the bottle for you. What's your best travel hack?
Best travel hack's probably our friend Keo, who told us on, I don't know if she does this every time, but on one trip, she actually, about a month before she went somewhere, and she travels pretty high end, she just shipped all of her luggage to the hotel ahead of time, and then just got on the plane for an international trip with no carry-on or anything, and her stuff was just there at the front desk when she got there. So if you have the money to throw at it, that sounds like an amazing travel hack.
Okay, read number 4.
Okay, what's the worst travel hack? Will this be one we tried or one we've just heard of?
I think it could be either. I don't know if we've tried any bad travel hacks.
I don't know what a hack is. I've tried some things that didn't work out.
Like what?
Well, the last time I went to Europe, my phone wasn't going to work in Europe anyway, so I decided a great idea would be just not to take it, and then I don't have to keep track of it. I still had like my iPod, which had a camera on it, but I didn't have my phone. Hey, I thought that would be great, and then it turns out that when I got to Philadelphia, my passport wasn't expired, but it didn't have 6 months left on it, and apparently you have to have some arbitrary amount of time left on your passport before you can leave, because they're afraid you'll overstay your visa and then your passport will expire and you'll go native or something. So the rest of my group went on to Belgium, and I was stuck in Philadelphia till Monday morning when I could get to the customs office or customs house. And I was stuck there with no phone at all. And I did have a friend in Philadelphia, but just because I didn't even have my phone, it took quite a bit of work having somebody else that I managed to get Wi-Fi on my iPod and then contact someone else who could look up her account on Facebook and message her and get her phone number so I could call her from my hotel phone, and it was really tedious. So I definitely need to not just drop things that
Don't leave
I
your
should
phone
take.
at home.
Oh, lots of things you shouldn't leave at home. I'm constantly trying to pack as light as possible, and I actually pack lighter than anyone should. Did you have a worst travel hack?
It's not really a hack, but if you're going to be traveling internationally or you're going to be doing a lot of walking with your suitcase, don't buy a suitcase with only 2 wheels. Get a suitcase that has 4 swivel wheels on it, because it will make your life 100% easier. I've also seen a hack going around on the internet where you use a straw and you cut it down to like a half a straw, and then you burn the end so it's sealed, and then you put like shampoo or lotion or soap in it. Don't do this if you're flying internationally or if you're getting on a plane. That is a bad idea, because TSA is going to stop you.
It kind of looks like a baby pipe bomb.
It's probably a good idea for like camping or if you're going on a road trip, but I would not do that if I'm getting on a plane. Just don't.
Unlabeled fluids. Yeah.
Number 5 is most memorable vacation as a kid, and mine was going to see my mom's parents, my mama and my papa, because they lived practically on the beach, and so I got to spend a week with just them, and my mama and I would get up, go to the beach, come home for lunch, go to the beach, stay out till dark, and then sleep. So that was probably my favorite vacation as a kid. How about you?
When I was in junior high school, my parents took me and one of my friends out west on a road trip. So we had this big Dodge conversion van, so lots of space. There was 2 seats up front and 2 seats in the middle and a big bench seat in the back. And we went from Tennessee all the way out Interstate 40 to the Grand Canyon, and then up through Colorado and back across the flat square states. And it was pretty neat. There's a lot of stuff. I have a whole shoebox full of pictures we took on that trip, back when you took pictures on film.
Number 6, your turn.
What was I guess, what is a vacation nightmare you've experienced?
Both of us, our answers together. Shirahama.
Yeah, it turned out pretty poorly.
Well, in the end, it turned out fine, but it was... We went there to go to the beach because it's supposed to be one of the more famous beaches in Japan. The problem is that we missed the last train home. And so we got stuck there overnight. So we ended up having to get a hotel room. And the only hotel was pretty expensive, if I recall correctly. It was really nice.
I think we thought it was expensive at the time. It
Yeah.
was like 20,000 yen, so like $200 a night, which is not really that bad for Japan. But it was quite a few years ago.
Luckily, we got to use a credit card for that because we didn't have much money on us. And the other thing is all the restaurants were closed and they didn't have a restaurant in the hotel that I recall. But the grocery store, luckily the grocery store was open. So we stopped and with what little money we had on us, we were able to get some dinner from the grocery store.
Yeah, we stopped at Okuwa and got some sandwiches and some 1-liter bottles of American Cola.
Yes.
That's not like an American Cola, it's just called American Cola.
But there were a couple of cool things. We did get to see the local townspeople were having a get-together and a big bonfire, and they were actually doing a fan dance, native fan dance. Native.
I don't know where it's
maybe
from.
the right word. Maybe not the right
Traditional?
word. Traditional, yes, thank you. Traditional fan dance, and it was really, really awesome to watch. And then the next day, we did get to actually spend most of the morning on the beach, and we just got ice cream for lunch.
There were a lot of crabs on the beach. Well, there was the breakfast buffet at the hotel, though.
That's right.
They had Viking.
That's right.
So
But
that was it. It was just Haagen-Dazs and breakfast that day.
And then we had to track, and the train station wasn't closed. The train station was a good, at least a 30-minute walk.
We should put up a picture of what we looked like that day. It's probably the worst I've ever looked.
So
We'll try to look that up and insert it.
There are some really bad things about that trip, but it was, overall, I think it turned out, we've got some good memories of it too, so. How much was the most expensive gas you've purchased and where? And for both of us in Wyoming.
Yeah, early 2008, we actually found gas for $4.99 a gallon.
Yeah.
In Wyoming. I'm not sure where it was, right by the Colorado border, but that was definitely the most expensive gas. Luckily, we had a car that wasn't that inefficient.
Yeah. Okay, you read number 8.
Okay, I guess this is if you took a dream vacation by car or by vehicle, what mode of transportation would you use?
For me, train. Because I don't have to drive. I don't have to worry about directions. All I have to know is, okay, this is my stop. I'm getting off here. I can read. I can listen to music. You know, I don't have to worry about being in charge of driving.
Yeah. Well, I've not really taken many long trips, I guess, to Chicago and back's the longest, but I would pick the car I have. I have a Toyota MR2, 3rd generation. It's a bit of a challenge for road trips. There's no trunk, there's no back seat, so there's a tiny luggage area behind your seats, and there's a spare tire compartment up front that you could probably fit like a pair of shoes in. So,
or, the spare tire.
I suppose. Or some people fill it with ice and keep drinks in it. But that would still be mine just because I want to be able to enjoy the roads wherever I go. So that's the car I enjoy driving the most.
Number 9. Where was the worst place you've dropped your camera? Thankfully, I haven't dropped my actual camera. However, I did drop my camera lens cover at the Botanical Gardens in Kobe. And we were standing up on a higher level looking down. And when I dropped it, it fell into a bunch of bushes. And we just could not find it. We even had one of the gardeners, and maybe he was a janitor. He worked there. helping us look for it, and it was just like the plants ate it. We never did find it. I eventually had to buy a new one, and I got one that has a cord that attaches to the camera, so if I drop it again, at least it won't be gone.
And isn't it bright blue or something?
Yeah, it's
so
blue.
Maybe you'll see it if you drop
bright
it.
blue.
Yeah. I've never dropped a camera. So my camera, I have a neck strap. I also have a hand strap on it. And if I'm taking the neck strap off, I put my hand through the hand strap and then take the neck strap off. And I don't have a leash on my lens cap, but I've never dropped it so far.
Oh, we're getting a battery warning. Okay, last question. If you could travel anywhere, where would that be? Me, Greece, Italy, Singapore, Hawaii, Canada, Vietnam, Brazil, Costa Rica, France, England, back to Spain and Japan. I want to go everywhere. How about you?
Since I think we're supposed to pick one, I would pick Rome just because I grew up reading that history when I was a kid, and I'd like to see a lot of those places.
So since the battery's about to die, I'm going to cut it here. That was the last question. We are going to tag our friend Susan to give her a little incentive. She's been thinking about making a channel. So Susan, here's the video for you. You can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/ShiveringShimmy. I'm also ShiveringShimmy on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Snapchat. And you can write me an email at shiveringshimmy@gmail.com. All of that's in the description below. Again, sorry there was no video this weekend. Hopefully we'll get some of Leaf next weekend. Michael will be playing with his band, so if nothing else, I'll get some of that for you guys. Anything else to add before our battery dies?
No.
I think that's it. Bye.